is all we need to make a stand.
We also said the adoption of the Security Council Resolution 2250 on youth peace and security marks the formal recognition of the positive role women and youth play in the maintenance of peace and security in the reconciliation process. That was also kept up. And the additional one we made to this for the Secretariat to kept up was in the past efforts to integrate women and youth into the job market has often been inadequate and have failed to recognize the range of needs and opportunities, aspirations of women and youth in Liberia. So that was not captured by the Secretary. We recommend that it be captured. Then the recommendation that was captured by the Secretary, that as part of engaging young people into the reconciliation process is to work on their basic needs and provide them with the needed skill. We also say here, peace exchange programs or the reactivation of the National Youth Peace Volunteer Program in Liberia be done. And we said the establishment of Enterprise Development Fund for Women and Youth Empowerment. We also say here, employment and skill development program be in line with the job market. We also said that there be funding for social protection arm of the Ministry of Gender, Children Protection to cater to the welfare of abandoned children, and we added single mothers, not only abandoned children, but single mothers that have become wards of the state. So we also said here that a dossier be developed on war-affected women that are disabled to enable the government make an informed decision as per their well-being. Some of the additions we made also follow here. We say vocational training skill institutions be established or strengthened to provide training opportunity for women and youth at all levels, district levels, the country level, where applicable. And we also say here, women entrepreneurship programs be established and implemented in all the districts of Liberia.
At national level, progress around the Truth and Reconciliation roadmap. We have 8 key points, but we took 4. We adjusted the language or the grammar, I should say. So we have the first 3. We said appointment of government officials should go beyond party line and should be geographically sensitive. 2, concession of defeat. Accepting defeat and congratulating the winning party by a losing party in any national or local election is a classic model of engineering the process of peace and reconciliation. Then we have government selected implementation of the TRC recommendations. 4, political dialogues fueling due to 3 cardinal reasons, which include the lack of trust, inclusiveness, and leadership. And we have 6, government making use of state-building goals such as legitimate politics, security, justice, economic foundations, revenue, and services. 7, not to say delaying the passage of the Local Government Act to include the election of superintendent is hammering the growth and development in the counties, leading to some local government officials having a feeling of being marginalized. 8, one of the key points is limited supply of security logistics from national government to local government, which poses external security threat around the border area, making way for the influx of illegal aliens and large drug traffickers in the country.
As we have put together, so please allow me to read. Local Voices for Inclusive Reconciliation, National Peace and Reconciliation Conference, March 21st to 22nd, 2018, Ruben City Hall, Monrovia, Liberia. Communique. The National Peace and Reconciliation Conference, coordinated by the Nigeria Peace Building Office, took place from March 21st to 22nd, 2018 at the Monrovia City Hall, Monrovia, Nigeria. The conference objective was to formalize a grassroots process prioritizing local voices from counties across Nigeria to define a national policy for peace and reconciliation. This conference was attended by His Excellency George Melawia, President of the Republic of Nigeria, Her Excellency Amina J. Mohammed, Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, His Excellency Farid Zarif, Special Representative of the Secretary General of the United Nations. Other institutions in attendance were the National Legislature, the Judiciary, civil society organizations, the Minister of Internal Affairs, the Independent National Human Rights Commission, the Office of the National Peace Advisor of Nigeria, local government representatives, Inter-Religious Council of Nigeria, the National Judicial Council of Chiefs and Elders of Nigeria. With support from the United Nations Mission in Nigeria until they would be partners for democratic development and search for common ground. County reconciliation plans for securing and sustaining grassroots reconciliation initiatives in Nigeria were developed and presented during the conference by representatives from Nigeria, Riverside, Bom, Nima, Cape Mount, Gigi, Lofa, and Sano counties. These plans were developed from a total of 100 dialogue meetings held across the country for a period of 4 months. The plans were formally presented, and the following key issues were discussed during the 2-day event. Number 1, political and governance at the local and national levels. Progress around the TRC reconciliation roadmap. Number 2, reforms required to address land dispute. Number 3, the effect of social, traditional, and religious issues on national reconciliation, peace building, and development in Nigeria. Number 4, significance of women and youth in the reconciliation process. Number 5, opportunities and challenges in the implementation of county plans to support reconciliation, governance, and accountability. And number 6, truth-telling and both retributive and restorative justice. Following the review of the county plans and visions, 8 panel discussions were held. During the panels, the critical challenge that emerged was the lack of political leadership and direct budgetary support for reconciliation. The conference has adopted the following resolutions. Now therefore, His Excellency President George Melawia, Her Excellency Amina J. Mohammed, and other officials of the Honorable Legislature, the Honorable Judiciary, and the executive branches of government. Conference participants including traditional and religious leaders, youth and women representatives, civil society organizations, and grassroots community representatives of counties attending the Grassroots Peace and Reconciliation Conference at the Monrovia City Hall, Monrovia, Nigeria, from March 21st to 22nd, 2018, resolved to, number 1, implement the 8 county plans through an inclusive process by integrating them into the national strategic roadmap for healing, peace building, and reconciliation derived from the TRC recommendations. Number 2, mobilize funding through the county social development funds, implement the plans as well as outstanding 7 counties. Number 3, passage of the local government and land rights bill. Number 4, ensure regular reconciliation dialogues at both the local and national levels. Done in Monrovia, Nigeria on March 22nd, 2018. Signed by, we have 1 county representative from each County, Bon, Rankin, Mount Lofa, Mount Didi, Nima, Riverside, and Sano. One county representative will sign into the council. Endorsement by Honorable Vani Esari, Minister of Internal Affairs. Honorable Samuel Tuet, Minister of Finance. Honorable Othello Gonga, Acting Chair, Governance Commission. Reverend Bartholomew P. Colley, Acting Chairman, Independent National Commission of Human Rights from the Willa October 3rd, National Peace Ambassador. Witnessed by National Civil Society of Liberia. This ends the reading of the communique as we have drafted. And as I said, points raised, the entire process of the capture, all of the points raised, we should be receiving those immediately after the conference. Thank you for listening.
We recommend it, I'm saying it from civil society standpoint, we recommend it that this conference and the delegates here, please let us account. The other point is when we talk about how to solve these problems. Government alone cannot solve this problem. We are also recommending number 2, certain specialties, they will be able to come up with a proposal, and that proposal will be vetted, and that the national budget can be set up through legislation so that the civil society organizations and other people of expertise can be able to bring ideas forward, and the government can have money set aside so that we really see this country moving forward. A lot of things not working in this country.
Yeah. Thank you very much for that, and Secretary. I think you took note of that. I think they've taken note of that. So with the reading of the communique now that we have prepared and ready, we are taking another step forward. And that step now is to remove ourselves from all the issues, reflecting on the 2 days. If we reflect on the 2 days, what feedback can we have from each other in terms of the 2 days we spent here together? Just very briefly.
Let me just take the time to tell the people that put all the ideas together for us to be under the fold. Let me tell you, thank you. You know, President God said, no down, no rest. Some people can say, when the child pregnant, we're not going to get allowed. We're going to get out to that child that they couldn't wait. But the more you pass in one lesson, the second one, and you fall for it. They were trying to say the meeting here. Not me now. And maybe not 3 questions, but most of the people here, they are educated from the meeting here. And when they go back, they say, when they sit down, when they get 3 friends, they will add it to 10 so they can brief them with a meeting. I'm sure of that, especially those who from the country. Because we the country people, we know mathematics, we know they can be doing you say that I know that what thing. But our brains, that computer that what the Chinese Messi is making. Because you know, common sense they broke. We the country people who quite to overcome something. Can you imagine the time they go can hear? Oh, when Gucci the traditional people need not tell it down. Oh, traditional attitude, traditional washing baby, and washing the day party. But the day, instead of they call us and tell us, but they so in our favor. When they call us, we start taking precaution, we take full so up and down to our people. We not celebrate those who die, and we not go. But until we standing and money living now to tell the people go back. You see that the main thing I celebrate with the program here. Because we with the traditional leader, the children want measure and we go. Your post sleep children, your get all children, will do your future praying work. Then after we left, then you can tell our first step. Because if you are not coming go to school, I can't get you letter and say read it for me. But you go to school, that way you can read it for. So get all chance. Our father, uncle, then they step where they take the leave it with exercising now. So when we leave, you go, can't tell. You just watch on what we can be doing. What I'm trying to say, when you go, you're from the country, and also in that year, education can be anywhere. I know English coming in because our leader coming. When you go, you make it possible, my people, men and women. You are not only say, I go out there, I go that can't buy them and carry. No. There's something there. When you eat here, you're not going to carry it to nobody. But the idea that you see here, you will carry there so you can put together. And always will be mentioned it. Because when they say 10%, check 10%, you may check that they say 1 before somebody can do. What I'm trying to say with the traditional people, anything you have to hear, that will be part of it. Because if you speak of both, when you go in the person say we just sit down there, but that thing where they don't get down. But if their children and more you go then later on go meeting with them, they will go back in. That traditional people looking. We like respect more than money. My people are allowed? No. We want respect. And that the procedure of people are going to allow you can hear all noise. But they come around about it, they want leadership. So they want to show their arm. And when you show the arm looking at the total will not be run to him something somewhere. So you let come together and meeting the peace are happy for the forum. I tell God thank you and I tell myself thank you and my people who come here sit down here thank you.
The Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations.
Women, oh women. Men, oh men. Men, oh men. Liberians, oh Liberians. What is the matter with our president? What do we want? What have we been working on here for the past 2 days? Thank you very much. All protocol observed. Your Excellency, Mr. President and Taraj, we like to welcome you here and thank you for coming. We want to inform you that during the past 2 days, your people, your citizens, but also including our good partners from the international community, have gathered here in intense discussions, in very mutual deliberations, in brainstorming, and in thinking on the way forward. Of course, as a peace ambassador yourself, while we have been here during the past 2 days, we knew and we understood very well that your spirit has been in this room throughout. And the fact that you have shown up at the closure to commemorate clearly explains your commitment, your determination, and your natural self as a person of peace. So we really want to thank you for coming. During the past 2 days, Mr. President, a cross-section of your people have been here. We have managed to have our deliberations, and of course, at the end of these 2 days, we also cannot leave here without having a sense of direction. And at this time, I would like to call upon our Peace Ambassador, Reverend William Aaron Talbot III, who will make a presentation of that to you.
Your Excellency, we are Excellency, William Mohammed, His Excellency, sorry, thank you for coming. Please allow me to read the final communique drafted as it at this program. Local Voices for Inclusive Reconciliation, National Peace and Reconciliation Conference, March 21st through 22nd, 2018, Monrovia City Hall, Monrovia, Liberia. Communique. The National Peace and Reconciliation Conference, coordinated by the Liberia Peace Building Office, took place from March 21st through 22nd, 2018, at the Monrovia City Hall, Monrovia, Liberia. The conference objective was to formulate a grassroots process prioritizing local voices from counties across Liberia to define a national policy for peace and reconciliation. This conference was attended by His Excellency George M. Weah, President of the Republic of Liberia, Her Excellency Amina J. Mohammed, Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, His Excellency Farid Zarif, Special Representative of the Secretary General of the United Nations. Other institutions in attendance were the National Legislature, the Judiciary, National Civil Society Council of Liberia, and other civil society organizations, the Ministry of Internal Affairs, the Independent and National Human Rights Commission, the Office of the National Peace Ambassador of Liberia, local government representatives, Interreligious Council of Liberia, the National Traditional Council of Chiefs and Elders of Liberia. With support from the United Nations Vision in Liberia, UNMIL, named Partners for Democratic Development and Search for Common Ground, county reconciliation plans for securing and sustaining grassroots reconciliation initiatives in Liberia were developed and presented during a conference by representatives of Grenville, Riversez, Bong, Nimba, Cape Mount, Mount Gibi, Lofa, and Sino counties. These plans were developed from a total of 100 dialogue meetings held across the country for a period of 4 months. The plans were formally presented, and the following key issues were discussed during the 2-day event. Number 1, political and governance at the local and national levels, progress around TRC reconciliation roadmap. Number 2, reforms required to address land disputes. Number 3, the effect of social, traditional, and religious issues on national reconciliation, peace building, and development in Liberia. Number 4, significance of women and youth in the reconciliation process. Number 5, opportunities and challenges in the implementation of county plans to support reconciliation, governance, and accountability. And number 6, truth-telling in both retributive and restorative justice. Following the review of the county plans and visions, 8 panel discussions were held. During the panels, the critical challenge that emerged was the lack of political leadership and direct budgetary support for reconciliation. The conference has adopted the following resolutions. Now therefore, His Excellency President George M. Weah, Her Excellency Amina J. Mohammed, and other officials of the Honorable Legislature, the Honorable Judiciary, and executive branches of government, conference participants, including traditional and religious leaders, youth and women representatives, civil society organizations, and grassroots community representatives of counties attending the Grassroots Peace and Reconciliation Conference at the Monrovia City Hall, Monrovia, Liberia, from March 21st through 22nd, 2018, resolved to, number 1, implement 8 county plans through an inclusive process by integrating them into the National Strategic Roadmap for Healing, Peace Building, Reconciliation, derived from the TRC recommendations. Number 2, mobilize funding through the county social development funds to implement the plans in the outstanding 7 counties. Number 3, passage of the local government and the land rights bills. And number 4, regular reconciliation. Ensure regular reconciliation dialogues at both the local and national levels. Done in Monrovia, Liberia on March 22nd, 2018. This communication was signed by representatives from each of the 8 counties, one each from each of the 8 counties here in attendance. From Bone County, 1 person shall sign. Nigeria, 1 person shall sign. Cape Mount County, 1 person shall sign. Lofa, 1 person. Mangibi, Gimba, Riverside, respectively, and Sino, 1 shall sign. It shall be endorsed by Honorable Vani A. Sadi, Minister of Internal Affairs, Honorable Samuel Twere, Minister of Finance, and Honorable Telegonga, Acting Chair, Governance Commission, President Bartholomew B. Cody, Acting Chair of the Independent National Commission of Human Rights, and the Honorable Servant, Reverend William R. Double III, National Peace Ambassador. Witness to this communique shall be Honorable Francis R.D. Reeves, National Civil Society Council of Liberia. Your Excellencies, praise God for this day, and thank you for this opportunity to read this with you. I should now ask signatories to come and sign. Am I correct, sir?
together. Keep Liberia safe forever. So open up your heart, let the unity begin. Love is all we need to make it stand. Let's cultivate one another. Learn to live together as brothers and sisters. Without togetherness, we won't have a peace of mind. Unify and have a peaceful home. Sweet Liberia, land of liberty is our home. Keep it standing. This is the one and only home that we have. Sweet Liberia, this land of liberty is our home. Let us keep it standing. It's the one and only home that we have. Oh, sweet Liberia, love is all we need to make it stand. Unify and have a peaceful home. Change is all we need to make it stand. Let's unify and have a peaceful home. Sweet Liberia, land of liberty is my home. And let us keep it standing. It's the one and only home that we have. Say sweet Liberia, this land of liberty is my home. Keep it standing. This is the one and only, the one and only, the one and only. Sweet Liberia, love is all we need to make it stand.
Signatures. Now have the endorsements by the Minister of Internal Affairs, Minister of Finance, Acting Chair of the Governance Commission, Acting Chair of the Independent National Commission of Human Rights, and National Peace Ambassador. These persons shall endorse this commission.
What can I ready to move?
Your Excellencies, please excuse an oversight. Both my mother and my grandmother are from Cape Town, went from Cape Town, they were in Cape Town, they're both turning over in their grave right now. Cape Town, please come forward. Thank you.
Closing remarks from the Minister of Internal Affairs, Honorable Bassett Civic, who has also been here at the opening of this conference.
Thank you. Your Excellency, Ambassador Joy Manuwia, President of the Republic of Liberia, Your Excellency Amina Mohammed, Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations and Delegation, Honorable Drawing Bleeker, Representative and Chair on Peace and Reconciliation at the House, Senator Steve Zabo, members of the Liberian Senate, Honorable Mamu Fofana of Lofa, members of the Judiciary here, Your Excellency Farid Zarif, Special Representative of the United Nations Secretary General in Liberia and Head of the United Nations Missions in Liberia, members of the UN family, members of the Cabinet here present, the Doyen and members of the Diplomatic Corps, Dr. William R. Talbot III, Peace Ambassador of the Republic of Liberia, officials of government here present, head of commissions and agencies of government, Honorable Chief Sansan Kawa, Chairman of and members of the National Council of Chiefs and Elders, Madam Frances Greaves, Chairperson and members of the National Civil Society Council of Liberia, Mr. Aaron Weah, Country Director and members of the Search for Common Ground, Mr. Eddie Jaulo, Executive Director and members of NAMO, my colleagues from the Peace Building Office and the Ministry of Internal Affairs, our partners from the counties, members of the Folk Estate, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, Your Excellency, Mr. President, when you took the mantle of leadership of this country early this year, you mentioned and informed Liberians and inhabitants that reconciliation was one of the critical pillars of your administration. Your presence here today clearly demonstrates your sincere commitment to that effect. On March 7th, when I met you to conclude discussion about the conference which was earlier planned for the 10th and the 9th and the 10th of March, Your Excellency, I vividly recall when you said to me, Minister, I quote, "You know reconciliation is my heartbeat, so I want you to personally be involved, so please ask our citizens, friends and partners to postpone the date so as to allow me to be physically present and participate in the conference," unquote. And today, Your Excellency, we are exceedingly glad that you are here to participate in this national event. I really want to thank you for this and your continued interest in the issues of national reconciliation. Mr. President, in 2013, when you served as Peace Ambassador, you took the first step toward genuine reconciliation by jump-starting the implementation of the strategic roadmap for national healing, peace-building, and reconciliation. You facilitated reconciliation, at which time 2 senior officials of government, at the time, Madam Mary Broad, Director General of the General Services Agency, and Honorable Solomon George, a representative of Montserrat County, from the 2 branches of government to reconcile their differences at a program held at the Centennial Pavilion. That was a happy moment for us all that day. This was a practical step you took to implement aspects of the strategic roadmap for national healing, peace building, and reconciliation. Thank you, Your Excellency. It is important to mention that there has been disconnect between the roadmap for reconciliation and communities in terms of conflict drivers, resolution mechanism, and communal initiatives for reconciliation and social cohesion. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, while previous efforts at reconciliation have been through the Truth and Reconciliation Commission and the implementation of the strategic roadmap for national healing, peace building, and reconciliation, significant progress has been made, has been realized because of the limited engagement directly with individuals and communities that were directly affected by the Civil War. It is believed, Your Excellency, that genuine reconciliation and social cohesion being and among communities will be achieved by strongly considering specific local, social, political, and economic issues that fuel daily tension among communities. These will be creating secure long-term access to land, enabling right to political leadership, and cultivating social economic empowerment of youth and women. While the government takes the lead, we encourage support from our international partners to help address these issues because they are fundamental to reconciling communities and advancing social cohesion. Because if intergroup tensions, political and socio-economic concerns of citizens are not given the needed attention, these would help to undermine gains made over the years in the areas of peace and reconciliation. We will not overlook these in our national reconciliation programs. With this, we ardently hope that our partners will aggressively step in financial terms to support implementation of the strategic roadmap, which is overall framework for national reconciliation and the countries. And the country vision plans form part of this framework as well. Liberia Peace Building Office at the Ministry of Internal Affairs is sustained by government to ensure it coordinates, monitors, and report on the implementation of the peace building framework of the Liberia Peace Building Plan. Your Excellency, reconciliation has been considered as the weak link of our post-war recovery efforts. And no doubt, under stress, the national grievances could constitute a major threat to our peace and consolidation of our peace consolidation efforts. We can assure you, however, that we will continue to work with civil society organizations through the Peace Building Office to design county-specific conflict and community peace building initiatives aimed at resolving this issue, promoting reconciliation, and enhancing unity among aggrieved communities and citizens. We also hope to strengthen existing infrastructure for peace at the county and district levels, including peace committees, county security council, as well as National Center for Early Warning and Early Response Mechanism. Let me close by thanking everybody, including those from the counties, the Peace Building Office, Office of the National Peace Ambassador, as well as UNMIL and civil society partners for helping the government to organize this conference. Under the coordination and leadership of the Ministry of Internal Affairs and its 4 government principles on reconciliation, Independent National Commission on Human Rights, the Ministry of Finance and Development Planning, Office of National Peace Ambassador, and the Governance Commission. We are glad that there was sufficient planning and coordination put into all of this that have this successful day here today. Mr. President, yesterday at the opening, we practicalized the peace-building effort that we're trying to build in Liberia. The peace ambassador, Ambassador Talbot, extended openly apology to all Liberians on behalf of his late father, the late President William Maro Talbot Jr. If he ever did anything wrong to any of you, he asked for pardon. He also, in return, has forgiven those who trespassed the Talbot family. Thank you, Ambassador. Mr. President, the citizens of the Republic of Liberia asked me to thank you in the 16 dialects of our country. The Mandingo people asked me to say Hinike. Many say Ibaika. The Loma say Imamao. The Kisi say Ibaika. Pere say Ihe. The Gola say Ise Zimbe. The Va say Ise. The Mano people say Azo. The Gio people say Yuzo. The Fran people say Atro. The Gro people say Awe. The Bella people say Mama. But some people say Zo. The Kru say Tato. And they say Isawe. I want to say thanks to all of you that have assembled here 2 days to have this successful program. To our international partners, I want to say to you, merci à tous. Those who understand Arabic, I say, Shukran Jazira. Assalamu alaikum.
Hear remarks of Her Excellency Amina J. Mohammed, who is Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations.
Thank you. This is the United Nations is going to try to do something different. So, women or women? Women! Men or men? Men! Why are we here? Peace and reconciliation. Who says so? Everybody! Your Excellency, George Weah, the President of Liberia, Your Excellency, Ambassador Olosco, our Chair of the Liberia Confederation of the Peace Building Commission, the Mayor, the youngest one I have ever seen of Monrovia, Excellencies, members of the Cabinet, distinguished parliamentarians, members of the civil society, our United Nations family, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. It's a real honor and a pleasure to be with you here at this Liberian, this historic moment. I'd like to thank our SRSG, Farid Zerk, because he's actually just lent me his eyes. I didn't have any, so thank you. I thank our partners, including the Ministry of Internal Affairs, the Peacebuilding Office, Search for Common Ground, the Liberia Peace Ambassador, Mr. Talbot, the Independent Commission on Human Rights, and Nemote for their continued commitment and efforts and for bringing us together here today. I'm told that you've had very rich conversations and discussions over the past days, and I hope that these will point the way towards solidifying reconciliation across the country. Of course, we heard our language, and the language in Africa means a lot. It's coming from the heart, and what we're trying to do is to change hearts and minds, to show forgiveness. And I always say that if God can forgive us, who are we not to forgive? I congratulate the government and the people of Liberia for the country's hard-won peace. It was not easy. The country has suffered so much for so long in so many ways. But Liberians have persevered and showed great determination across more than 15 difficult years of conflict and post-war recovery. We're here today to honor these efforts, acknowledge the fruits of the commitment, and to brace a new future for Liberian people. Liberia has conducted peaceful elections and made it possible the first democratic transition in the country's history. And today I heard one young man tell me that it's the youth that are the custodians of peace, and they certainly showed that in the elections, so we thank them. A new government is in place with ambitious plans for the people of Liberia. I congratulate President Weah for his electoral victory and reiterate the support of the United Nations. Even though we close the mission, we are in support of you on this new path towards sustaining peace and a sustainable development. The United Nations peacekeeping operation, which has supported you every step of the way, has successfully completed its mandate. It is time for us now to look at opportunities ahead. Liberia is at a crossroad, at a turning point. Peace has been achieved, but if it is to be sustained through wide-ranging, confidence-building measures that establish solid foundations for long-lasting peace, it will be your collective responsibility. This will only be possible if we ensure full and true reconciliation. I commend the partnership between the government, civil society, that has made today's gathering possible, and for all the progress that has been made on reconciliation. Dialogues at the country level and the reconciliation plans for each county that are being developed are enabling Liberians to forge a shared vision of peaceful, inclusive societies rooted in mutual understanding and the respect for diversity, that you see that it is your strength and not your weakness. The United Nations mission has provided continuous support aimed at increasing community participation and deepening the ownership. UNMIL contributed to reconciliation efforts in 8 counties: Grand Gede, Marbi, Bon, Sino, Lofa, River Princess, Nimba, and Grand Cape Point. At the same time, we know that more remains to be done. The Social Cohesion and Reconciliation Index for Liberia shows that we need to increase reconciliation efforts in Grand Cape Mount, River Sino, and elsewhere. It is also critical to implement the recommendations of the Truth and Reconciliation Commission, and for the legislature to pass key bills that will support local inclusion and reconciliation. These would be timely measures that would assure Liberians that there is a strong resolve to see a conclusion to this process. My brothers and sisters, to ensure reconciliation and secure a peaceful and prosperous future, it will be crucial to deepen efforts addressing the underlying causes of conflict in Liberia. Prevention is going to be critical to averting a relapse into violence. This is why we need to strengthen our efforts towards sustainable development. Peace will remain fragile as long as people feel excluded from the economic and political life of the country, and as long as corruption undermines confidence in our institutions. Enabling all people to enjoy a stake in society means establishing a level playing field where all people have economic opportunities and access to the very basic services which are your rights. It means inclusive governance, democratic practices, and bringing all voices, the smallest of voices, especially those of women, of youth, and others who tend to be marginalized, into the discussions and decision-making process that sets the country's path. We're saying here, you must leave absolutely no one behind. It also means ending violence against women and girls, which remains high and is an obstacle to the consolidation of peace. And so, ladies and gentlemen, Liberia's progress has inspired the region, the continent, and indeed the entire world. Despite the challenges ahead, Liberians have reason to be hopeful for a future that will bring prosperity to all citizens. The country is now well placed to focus on achieving the Sustainable Development Goals, the world's agreed blueprint for peace and prosperity on a healthy planet. Liberia's people have demonstrated their commitment to peace, their resilience to conflict and shocks, and their ability to recover their capacity for renewal. Finally, what I would like to say here now is that the international community, including the United Nations, will continue to stand with you to achieve reconciliation and sustain peace, advance inclusive sustainable development, and put this country on the road towards economic growth, stability, and prosperity. God bless your President of Liberia, the government, and the people of Liberia. And thank you.
Your Excellency, members of the platform, distinguished ladies and gentlemen, it is my pleasing duty and honor to now invite His Excellency, the President of the Republic of Liberia, for a special remark.
You have your seat. Her Excellency Amina Mohammed, Deputy Secretary General of the United Nations, Ambassador Olaf Skov, Chairman of the United Nations Peace Building Commission, Mr. Fernandez Tarango, His Excellency Farid Mabos Zarif, Special Representative of the United Nations, the head of UN Mission in Liberia, Dr. Mohamed Abi Chambers, members of the legislature, Reverend Ambassador William Howard Tugbo III, officials of government, ECOWAS ambassadors, our development partners, members of the diplomatic corps, members of the full estate, distinguished ladies and gentlemen. I'm grateful to have been invited by the organizers of this conference on peace and reconciliation in Liberia. I've noted that your team focuses on local voices for inclusive reconciliation. This choice of focus suggests to me that the organizer realized that true peace and reconciliation can only be achieved in Liberia if the process allows the voices of the ordinary people to be heard. These local voices will come from the ordinary people who become frontline soldiers during our wars, whose community were destroyed, whose children were raped, as instruments of death. They will come from people who are living with post-war trauma, from people who were wounded and crippled, both mentally and physically. These are the real victims of our conflict. If we are to achieve inclusive reconciliation, then we must not only hear the local voices, but we must also listen to them, understand their plight, and address their concern. We are fully aware that post-conflict reconciliation is a necessary and required component in order to attain the stability required for economic growth, development, and prosperity for our people. But this can only be achieved if we address the root causes of these conflicts. In our society, land dispute, political disparities, marginalization of tribes, and religious issues are some of the front points for conflict. Therefore, we have to examine these points of social fraction in a practical and realistic manner, and then draft comprehensive policy that will reduce and ultimately prevent the incidents of their occurrence. Ladies and gentlemen, we have all played some part in order for us as a nation to have experienced these 12 years of unbroken peace and stability. However, I am sure that you will also agree that true reconciliation is still elusive and far from being achieved. Throughout this time, there have been numerous reconciliation conferences, producing so many roadmaps to peace and so many policy documents and programs. But the problems of political, cultural, and economic division still exist in every aspect of our society. You may recall that in December 2012, I was appointed Peace Ambassador and quickly established the Liberia Peace Initiative to help foster unity amongst our people. We organized programs to spread the message of peace and reconciliation. Two of the most noticeable programs were the Peace Ballon d'Or March and the citizens of Banjile and Nima County Reconciliation Dialogue at the RLJ. I will be the first to admit that the impact of those events was short-lived. Some people that reconcile their differences during the immediate after these occasions very soon went back to their old resentment and divisions. We cannot continue to try to forge and foster our peace through the organization of happy events and conferences. These are not substitute for genuine peace. What we must first learn to do is to live in peace with each other, and then organize this event to celebrate our peaceful coexistence. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, borrowing from the word of Nelson Mandela, in the end, reconciliation is a spiritual process which requires more than just a legal framework. It has to happen in the hearts and minds of people. Unquote. Therefore, our approach toward true reconciliation should start from the heart. Sustainable reconciliation can only be achieved when we Liberians see each other as one family. There is a common saying in Liberia that family tree can bend, but family tree can bend, but it can never break. This positive attitude should be adopted in our reconciliation process. We should all strive to forgive each other wrongdoing and transgression unconditionally. Forgive and forget. Let us all remember that as a nation, as a national family, we all share a single bond in common. We are children of one mother. Mama Liberia. In our Pro agenda, reconciliation is the vehicle to the change for hope. That was repeatedly stated on the campaign trail. We must therefore remain reconciled and united if we are to reap all of the benefits of our development agenda. We therefore urge all Liberians to reconcile our differences to enable peace and stability to flourish in our land, so that we as government can work to provide the needed avenue for prosperity that our people have craved for so long. In the cause of the people, I say to you all Liberians, let us reconcile and let this trouble end. Obrigado.
My dear brother, Mr. Sadi, has already said what I said yesterday. But one thing I would like to add is that we have a wonderful opportunity as Liberians. We are at a critical junction in our history. We must move forward. We must do it together. Thank you for your remarks. Thank you for your inspiration. People were commenting on hope for change or change for hope. People wouldn't understand. Yes, yes. For me, let me try to press the last thing you said. You are an icon, an international icon. You have given so much inspiration, so much hope, not only to Liberians, but to people all around the world. For a long time we said, how about not come? The bear coming, but the bear didn't come. But now, if we can hope for change, it makes a difference. As a theologian, there are three things that Corinthians talks about: faith, hope, and love. The greatest of the three is love. We love one another. We love God first, that we cannot see. So we love one another. But our faith in the divine makes the practical reality, life every day, makes it real for us. So thank you for that inspiration to make a difference, aspiration. All Liberians need to do many things. But one thing that we must do, it's time to come together, roll up our sleeves, and work. I was sharing with a friend today, and I said, you know, one of the things that President Tolbert did when he started the maritime projects, mathematics, and all of these different projects, there was a reliance on foreign intervention, but he mobilized the local aspiration. People to come together, the people to work, the people to make a difference. We came together as a nation, as people, to create know you can help us, so you can make a difference for us. Let us stand. The national anthem. Oh, hail Liberia, hail.
In joy and gladness we find.